Are we ready, counsel? Yes. Mr. Williams, are you ready, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's bring in the jury.
Jury enter.
Please be seated. Defense, call your first witness.
Defense would call Semmie Williams, Jr.
Mr. Williams, can you please stand up, raise your right hand, and prepare to be sworn? The clerk is over here.
Yes.
You can have a seat, sir.
Bring me a pen. Is that okay?
Can you bring a pen and a pad for Mr. Williams, please?
And while they're doing that, can you introduce yourself to the jury by spelling your first and last name?
Yes.
Semmie Williams, Semmie. Last name is Lee, Lee, and my last name is Williams, Williams.
Okay. And are you a junior?
Yep.
Okay. And how old are you as of today's date?
I'm 43.
All right. In November of 2021, where were you living, Mr. Williams?
November 2021, I was see.
Well, let me actually.
I was homeless next to the railroad track in Miami.
Okay, so you were primarily in the area of Miami-Dade County?
Yeah.
Okay. And I kind of want to talk to you generally before we get into the various travels that you had. What is gang stalking?
This.
One
Okay,
second.
go ahead.
1 second.
I can approach.
Yes, please approach. Mike, please, Ms. Gajri.
Well, gang stalking is the reason why I didn't stay there when it was pitch black dark, and I was traumatized by the police from years of harassment, and also I didn't have a cell phone that night, and that's also an indicator that the cell phone person is also
Overruled. Stop. Wait a second. Let her ask another question.
All right. So.
I'll just ask what gang stalking is. Okay, I'll answer that one.
Okay. All right. So I know you kind of said a lot, so I want to unpack that a little bit.
Well, I'll answer the first question, that what gang stalking is. I'll stay with that since it was a problem for me freely talking.
Okay. All right. So what exactly is gang stalking?
Gang stalking is a method of attack that is ran by the Masons that have been targeting me since my childhood, and the goal of gang stalking is to harass the victim, use electronic weapons on them because they work in all jobs. They scientists, doctors. They asked me to join, and they told me that they would train me for any job, but they would own me, but I turned them down. And so they work in all jobs. They work in the government. They work in all jobs, but they stay secret, and they only attack a small amount of people, and they call us targeted individuals. And they don't attack everybody because they would expose their secret.
Okay.
And so the goal of targeting gang stalking is to harass the victim, to set him up for crimes, to lie on him, to torture him with secret technology. I have chips playing all over my body. They injected me with needles.
Right. So, Mr.
So
Williams,
hold on, I'm not finished the goal of it. And so I covered harassing, electric. So yeah, the police involved in it, and the goal of it is just to set you up for crimes, put you in jail, basically just to drive you crazy, pretty much.
okay. All right. So I know you kind of described overall what it is and some of their goals, and you mentioned the term targeted individual.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say targeted individual, are you a targeted individual?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And when you kind of went through that list of goals of gang stalking by this organization, are those some of the experiences that you had as a targeted individual throughout, I believe you said childhood?
Well, actually, I think they've been targeting me since I was a child, like they did Ryan, and a lot of other targeted individuals. They also say that they follow them for many years, sometimes their entire life, and so actually they targeted me my whole life, but I only became aware of them. I came aware of them maybe around 2010, and so
How did you become aware of them in 2010?
So basically, I was just on a train one day, and a guy was like, the Masons are everywhere you go, and I was like, then I was so then I realized, who was causing it, and so exactly what was your question again?
You actually answered my question. So have you lived, aside from Florida, have you lived in different states?
So are you actually going down the list of questions that we reviewed, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're going through some of the questions. So
I need you to go down. I need you to go through the questions that we reviewed from top to bottom. I don't need you to be skipping around.
All right. So the next question would be, as a targeted individual, did you travel from different states?
Do you have an extra copy of the questions that we reviewed so I can see them?
I don't believe I have them with me. If we could
So
approach,
are you looking at the questions, or what are you doing?
Mr. Williams, 1 second. Counsel?
May we approach?
Yes.
Quickly?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We just need to make sure. No texting, tweeting, blogging, nonsense, accepting messages, communications of any kind. We'll be as quick as we can. Thank you. So the jurors have left. Please be seated. Mr. Williams, you are not entitled to have your questions in front of you. Every witness has to testify based on their memory. So I'm presuming that you and your attorney have gone over the questions. Your attorney is going to ask you those questions, and then you have to answer those questions. So you can't have anything, any notes in front of you unless, if you recall during the trial, when people didn't remember something, they would ask me if they could refer to their notes for their recollection. You remember that?
Yeah, but
So the same thing holds for you. You can't have anything in front of you. If you need to refer to something, then you have to ask me permission to do that.
Okay.
And depending on whether I give you the permission or not, then you can look at those notes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to bring the jury back now, and Ms. Gajri is going to ask you questions. She obviously has a list of questions, and you are going to have to answer them. Okay.
Well, let me know when you get to the last question.
She'll let you know when the last question is. Okay.
Yeah, say this is the last question.
All right. We'll get there. Okay.
Because it seems like, because I looked over the question, it seems like she's not going in order. So that's why I was kind of confused.
Well, it could be, too, that you don't remember them precisely in the same order. So she's going to ask you those questions, and we're going to go through that process. Okay,
so somebody want to take this or something?
That's a blank pad of paper. You can write down whatever you want, but you can't refer to any notes. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That pad is for you to write anything you want to write down.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we bring in the jury now, sir?
Yeah, okay.
Let's bring in the jury. Please be seated. Ms. Gajri, you may continue.
All right, Mr. Williams, I believe the last question I asked you was had you traveled to different states in efforts to get away from this organization that was gang stalking you?
Yeah, so what happened is so they've been gang stalking me since childhood, but I wasn't aware of it, and then I went to Atlanta, and that's when I became aware of it, and so the police was I realized the police was after me, and they was kind of saying that I was a bad guy. So so they was kind of like talking to me through like symbolism and what they call directed conversations. When they would have the people in the gang stalking community, we call it directed conversations. Is when two people have a conversation, but it's meant to be meant for you. So they would say like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this person," to the other guy, but they really talking to you. They want you to hear it. So that's one of their methods of communication. And so once I realized that, then I went to Baltimore, Maryland. I I went to Baltimore, Maryland to get away from them, and so I thought I was safe there, and because I was in a different city and state, I thought I was safe. And at that time, I was new to gang stalking, so I didn't really understand it, and I thought society was fair. I knew you had corrupt police officers, but I thought it was just a small number. I didn't think it was a big problem. And so then I realized, and so actually I ended up talking to a woman at the homeless shelter, and I thought I was safe, and the woman told me that somebody was threatening to kill her, and then she ended up, giving me a STD. They sent her to give me STD, and then also they also sent a woman in Atlanta to give me STD.
Okay, so
And,
Mr. Williams, I'm gonna just pause you. I know you mentioned law enforcement, so and I know you mentioned the Masons. Is law enforcement also involved in this organization that had been gang stalking you?
Yeah, they work in all jobs. They work in the FBI, federal government, military. They scientists, doctors, lawyers. They have a large influence over society. Okay. George Washington was a Mason, and they have controlled. They have influence over American society for secretly for hundreds of years. But I mean, I could go into detail. I can just tell you the places that I traveled.
Okay,
just to make it quick.
Right. So far we've talked about Atlanta, Georgia. You were in Baltimore, Maryland. Did at some point you end up in San Diego, California?
Okay. I won't go into detail. I just make it quick. I went from Baltimore, and I went to there from Philadelphia. Then I went to Norfolk, Virginia. I went to Washington, D.C., and then I went to Charlotte, North Carolina. Then I went to Atlanta, and from Atlanta, I went to there, back to Orlando, then to Sanford. Then I went to there to Valdosta. Then I went there to El Paso, Texas, and then I went to San Diego. San Diego, I tried protesting against them. And they did something to my ear, and I had to go to the hospital. And so they have secret ways that they can knock you out. And so one way they can knock you out, they can drug your food or drink. And another way is they can knock you out is by electric signals. And they also have chips implanted all over my body. But a lot of doctors are a part of it, so they'll lie and say that you don't have chips, even though you really do. And so another, basically, it's I've seen a thing that a man had. So basically,
one second, Mr. Williams. Okay. Response?
I'll ask my next
Sustained.
question.
Thank you.
So basically, I see.
No, wait.
Oh, okay.
She's going to ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I know you kind of detailed out the various different states you went through within the country. And in November of 2021, you had found yourself in Miami-Dade County. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to Miami to hoping that I wouldn't get gang stalked. I knew that I was, but I was hoping for the best. And the other target individuals, they also say that they get stalked everywhere. But the Illuminati and Freemasons, they plan on attacking everybody in American society. But for right now, they're only attacking a small amount of people, and they call us targeted individuals. And the method of attack is called gang stalking.
Okay. So ultimately, as you're describing these different states that you traveled to, that was your attempt to try to get away from the organization that was gang stalking you.
Yeah. Actually, I went there to really just start a new life. But I knew I was going to get attacked, so I was just documenting it and stuff like that on my cell phones.
Okay. And when you say documenting, how would you document? Would you just record a video, or did you have another means in documenting kind of this gang stalking that was happening to you?
Well, I was actually reason why I was documenting in case something happens, I would have some type of proof, or I was also trying to communicate with the FBI, and I had the videos for them, and I actually did the motion of discovery with the FBI, and they didn't even they didn't even document that I contacted them. So the FBI is heavily involved, but they work in all jobs, not just the FBI.
Okay, I understand. So going back to how you were documenting on your cell phone, kind of recording what you were seeing and what was happening to you, did you have a YouTube channel that you ended up creating to kind of let the world know what was happening to you?
No, I didn't actually make the world know. I only had 100 subscribers, so I actually made it just in case I get into some type of bad legal situation, and I also made it for the FBI, hoping that they would help me, but they never did.
Okay, so you reached out to the FBI in an attempt to get help from this gang stalking that was happening to you. Is that's what you're kind of describing for us?
Yeah, so I reached out to the San Diego police. I called them like 10 times, and he was like, "Why are you calling us?" So it's they believe in using secret code words like "just us." That means it's a code word that the justice system is just for us. So that's why he's saying that they feel that they're above the law and they don't obey any laws. And that's why it's a code word called "just us." That means that they feel like they're above the law, they don't obey the law, and they knew that I was being attacked by them, so they didn't want to help. And I also contacted the Texas Rangers. I contacted the sheriff in Norfolk, Virginia. What else did I contact? I contacted the Texas Rangers.
So did you contact law enforcement kind of in all these various states that you went through, as well as the FBI as a federal agency, to try to get help?
Yeah, I contacted the FBI in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. That's when they hung up on me, and it took me about maybe 10 years to realize the symbolic message of that. Hang up means hang you or kill you. Like lights out means kill you. So they believe in symbolism and secret code messages, like because they secretly control a lot of the books and stuff we read, and they made up a lot of words that we use. But back to the subject of contacting law enforcement. Yeah, I contacted them probably over the internet, probably 100 times on the FBI website, kind of hoping that they would help me, but they never did. And I also called the FBI and Washington, D.C., North Carolina.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. Williams.
Okay.
I'm going to move on to the
next question. She's going to ask you the next
question,
sir.
Okay.
All right. So we kind of talked about you contacting law enforcement as well as creating this YouTube channel where you were recording kind of the harassment that was happening to you. And were you uploading videos almost daily to kind of show the harassment you were enduring?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going back to November of 2021. I know you were living, I believe you described, by the train tracks. Were like wooded areas kind of more of an area that you tried to stay in to kind of avoid being harassed or targeted by the organization that was gang stalking you?
Well, I don't think this is one of the questions that we reviewed, but yes, I did stay in wooded areas.
Okay. All right. So ultimately, it sounds like you were trying to get away, going to different cities, and I believe you said Miami was one of those cities you came to in order to get a new start. Did you end up going to Palm Beach County, coming up here to Palm Beach County at some point?
I still don't think that's one of the questions that we reviewed, but Palm Beach County, yes, I did.
Okay. And was that kind of a new venture for you in order to try to get away from this organization that was gang stalking you?
Palm Beach County. No. This is not one of the questions that we reviewed.
She asked the question, sir. If you could answer it, please.
So when So when I went to Palm Beach County, I didn't know where I was at the time that I went, but this is not one of the questions that we reviewed. But okay, I answer your question.
Okay. But ultimately, your travels consisted of trying to get away from this gang stalking.
Yes.
Now, when you mentioned a little bit earlier about some of the methods that they use in order to harass these targeted individuals, and one of the methods you mentioned was electromagnetic frequencies.
Yeah, electromagnetic frequencies. So I have that medical condition, and so I asked the jail to provide me with the protective clothing, and I filled out a medical form, and they didn't give it to me. They just gave me medication, and so electromagnetic frequencies, they all electronic devices emit electromagnetic frequencies, and so basically, it's documented that they have electric weapons. So basically, any electronic device is basically the same. It's like hardware and software. So you can have something that looks like a computer, a cell phone, and it can emit dangerous electric frequencies. And they attack. So they have me in the cell there, and they won't move me away from the guard station like I've been asking them.
All right, so
Next
I'm
question.
gonna ask you my next question, which in the beginning of your testimony you mentioned gang stalking is involved in every organization, to include law enforcement, and that is why you did not stay. Can you help us understand what you
Okay, this still isn't one of the questions that we reviewed. It's
But
just
please
another
answer-
one.
Please answer it.
So yeah, I was traumatized from the years of attack and stuff like that. It was pitch black dark, and yeah, so that's the reason why I didn't stay.
Okay. And when you're saying it's kind of pitch black dark, and you're unable to see, and the years of harassment that you've kind of been through that have led you to be traumatized, did that lead to kind of your fear of law enforcement?
Fear and being traumatized. Well, not actually fear, but more like traumatized and not being comfortable talking to them, and not really being around them. So I wasn't actually fear of them. I was more traumatized and uncomfortable around them, and didn't want to talk to them.
Okay. If I could have one moment, Judge.
Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. It'll be about a 10-minute break. Enjoy your break. No texting, tweeting, blogging, emailing, sending or accepting messages, communications of any kind about this case or your jury service. No reviewing any media, social media, reading newspapers, anything like that. Thank you. The jury is left. Please be seated. How do you want me to see these videos? I have a computer here. I can. If you want to play it on your computer and then just everybody approach the bench, then that's fine. There's really no need. I mean, Ms. Walensky, I'm going to have to review it anyway, so let's just review it in deference to time. Let's review it together, and I'm sure you've seen it before. You can formulate your objections contemporaneously to seeing the videos. Thank you. Yes. It's all right. Thank you. Please approach. I understand. I appreciate that. Get a mic, though. And for the record, you need to articulate what it is that I'm reviewing. Miss, let's share. I'll come over here. She's going to put it on the record.
All right. So what is being played for the court is entitled Evil Stalker Doing Child Endangerment Gang Stalking. And it's an MP4 style player. It's an MP4 file. And the total time on it is 2 minutes and 19 seconds. No, I don't have that on there. That's how you provided it to us in Discovery. So, okay.
Go ahead. Stop it. Do you want this on the record or off the record? No, it's fine. Off the record. that a different one?
Oh, sorry, it's just started over.
It just started over?
Yeah.
Okay. Response?
Yes. My objections are as follows. It is self-serving hearsay. It is improper mental health evidence. It's more prejudicial than probative. A lot of the content specifically in this video, I think if it was permitted, would need to be redacted, where he talks about being a poor person. And it's not relevant. We don't know what time it was taken. We don't know what date it was taken. All the videos that the state put in, we were able to orient to when they were posted. So
Does that complete your argument?
yes.
Response?
One, it is not being offered to show any kind of mental health. That is absolutely not our position or our intent in presenting this. In terms of date and time, Mr. Williams is the one that recorded this, and he can authenticate when he posted it as well as where he was. I do believe it is a spontaneous statement, as the court could hear. So that would be our position.
What about the self-serving? You're saying it's a spontaneous statement in response to the self-serving hearsay? Because that's what Ms. Williams' statement or initial objection was.
Right. I do believe, I don't believe that we're offering it for its truth, rather to
Why are
just
you
show,
offering it?
just to show what he had been documenting, where he was when he was in Miami.
Can he verbally testify to that?
I believe he can. I think the other alternative is just playing the video on mute with no sound.
If the court is inclined to allow you to play it mute with no sound, how is it relevant? You can't speak right now, sir.
It would be relevant because Mr. Williams would be able to kind of describe what is in this video.
How is it relevant to the issues in this case is my question.
Because this, as he talked about documenting on his YouTube, the harassment he was going through, as this video is playing, similar to if an individual had a picture that they could describe what's in the picture, what's being captured. And I believe that's what Mr. Williams would be able to do with this video, which would make it relevant to things that he documented in order to, with the gang stalking, which ultimately is part of his testimony, and I do believe relevant.
Any further argument? No. The court finds that that video is not relevant to the issues in this case, so the objection is sustained. Next one.
And the next video is titled Gang Stalking, and it is 1 minute and 42 seconds. And I'm going to hit play.
And I didn't see the start of it. Does it say gang stalking as the title?
Yes, it does.
Okay, go ahead. enough of this response?
In this video, there are individuals that, again, similar to a photograph, I do believe Mr. Williams would be able to describe some of that harassment that was going
Mr.
on.
Linsky, as to this particular video, assuming the court precludes any audio, because the state introduced the issue concerning gang stalking, this video does seem to support that issue. So help me understand how it's not relevant when the state introduced the gang stalking issue. Mr. Williams is now responding to the gang stalking issue. I totally take your concern as to self-serving hearsay into consideration. So the court's inclination as to this particular video is to play the video without any audio, so to eliminate the gang stalking, but it does seem to respond to the gang stalking.
But having him narrate what he documented.
I just said I'm.
Well, having him narrate what he documented, which is what the defense wants to do, is play it and have him explain what he's doing, is just a different conduit for the same self-serving hearsay.
Response.
Again, I would analogize it to a photograph in which is being presented, or
Proffer how you plan to, assuming the court allows the video to come in without any audio, proffer how you plan to have Mr. Williams testify concerning this so that we are not bringing in self-serving hearsay on the back end.
So as of right now on this particular clip, it is paused at about 27 seconds and pressing play. There are various individuals that are captured on this recording, which I do believe, based on the testimony, Mr. Williams would describe this is a method that they use in order to gang stalk a targeted individual.
Response?
I still maintain my relevance objection.
It is, I'm sorry.
Well, we've established the relevance based on the fact that the state brought it in. So the relevance is overruled.
That's all.
How long is this video?
142.
I'll allow the video. The state is invited to make contemporaneous objections concerning any questions so as not to elicit any self-serving hearsay, and the video would have to be played on mute. Next one.
The next one is also titled Gang Stalking.
Then it seems cumulative.
It depicts something. These are just the way that it was uploaded. Okay.
Tell me how it's, without even playing it, how is it not cumulative if I'm letting you get in one video concerning gang stalking?
Specific to this video, there is a arguably clear pattern in the means in which these individuals are walking to form a pyramid.
1 second. Have you seen this video? You can pick one. You don't get both. And it would be muted.
Okay.
And I need to see it before which one she picks, just because I've seen it in
I understand.
past. I haven't seen it today.
You can see it before it's played, but they can only pick one. What's the next one?
The next one is also titled Gang Stalking, and I will, understanding the court's ruling, only pick one. The next is titled Possible Child Endangerment Connection to
How is that
Criminal. Again, I believe in this one, it is just what he's documenting, and he would be describing. It would be on, we would propose playing it on mute.
How is this video relevant?
It is relevant to his testimony as it relates to the method of attack that is used by this organization that is gang stalking, that Mr. Williams has testified to is gang stalking him.
Response?
Cumulative, not relevant. State still maintains that this is improper mental health evidence. It might not be what it's intended to be, but it is what it is.
You have the instruction potentially, and we'll address that
The next is stalker doing harassment, harassment technology.
I'm sorry?
It is entitled "Stalker Doing Peeing Harassment Technique."
Play it again.
It says on the top, but I don't know if it's.
I can't see. Response? Sustain. Next one.
Oh, and just for the record, that video is 4 minutes and 17 seconds. The last video is titled "Stalker is Showing His Private Area."
No.
It just so the record's clear, that is not what is captured on the video, but rather what is described as a technique of harassment that gang stalker that
How is it relevant to the issues in this case?
it is relevant as to why Mr. Williams did not remain on scene when.
What is depicted in this video? How is it relevant to the issues in this case?
It would just be the documentation of the harassment he was going through in terms of ultimately trying to get away, because that video does take place in Miami. Obviously, this case happens in Palm Beach County, so 2 counties.
Like other gang stalker videos that I told you could pick one. Are those in Miami?
I believe one of them is, yes.
Okay. Response?
Same objection.
Sustain. With anything else?
Those were actually all 7.
That's all of them? All right, so pick one. How much time do you need to pick one? After regrouping, it would be appropriate to break for the day. That's what she said. Response? No. No? Oh, I mean.
Sorry, I did not mean that.
Okay.
No, I don't have a response.
Okay. I think it's 4:30. We're totally not gonna finish Mr. Williams' direct examination at any semblance of a reasonable hour, and I don't want to keep the jury too far past 5:30. So we will bring them out and recess for the day. I just want to get a sense as to the schedule for tomorrow, because it was my intention to present the case to the jury tomorrow. 1 second, sir.
I would think we still would be able to present the case to the jury tomorrow. It seems like we could probably finish the charge conference this afternoon.
Okay. Defense?
That's fine.
All right, so it still wouldn't be completely finished, Ms. Walensky, because we would have to kind of wait till Mr. Williams' testimony is completed. So I think there's still going to be some issues that would be not addressed tomorrow until.
I guess I meant the state is prepared to argue with regard to our requested jury instructions.
The one that you sent to me, okay, we can discuss that. Everything else seems open for discussion depending on his testimony.
And Judge, as it relates to the state special instruction, I do believe.
We can talk about that later. I just want to excuse the jury. So I'm bringing in the jury. I'm going to excuse the jury, tell them to come back. I have to, 1 second. I asked my judicial assistant what time I can start tomorrow, so let me just find that answer out. 10 o'clock. Okay? I'll tell them to come back. I'll tell them to come back at 9:30. So, and then we will start the trial and finish the testimony, and as quickly as we can, maybe take an early lunch. I don't know. I'll figure it all out, but we'll just excuse them for the day now and have them to come back at 10, and we'll figure out the schedule after they've been excused. Sir?
Can I address the court?
Not right now. Let's excuse the jury, and then you can address the court. Okay.
Okay.
So, deputies, you can have him sit back next to his counsel. Once he's comfortably seated next to counsel, we'll bring in the jury. State ready to bring in the jury?
Yes.
Defense? Defense? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Yes,
Thank you. Let's bring in the jury, please.
Jury entering?
Deputy. Please be seated. So we have some more work to do before we conclude Mr. Williams' testimony. So we're going to excuse you because we likely will not finish that testimony at a reasonable hour, and I want to get you home at a reasonable hour. So tomorrow, please be here at 10 a.m. No, sorry, 9:30 a.m. Please be here at 9:30 a.m. We're going to start as promptly as we can. So if everyone can be here at 9:30 a.m., that would be greatly appreciated so we can potentially conclude the evidentiary portion of the case and move to the next phase, okay? Enjoy your evening. No texting, tweeting, blogging, emailing, sending or accepting messages, communications of any kind about this case or your jury service. No reading newspapers, no social media concerning this case, no watching television concerning this case. I wish you all a great evening. Please be seated. The jury is left. The jury instruction that Ms. Walensky has proffered. Any response from the defense?
I do think it would be appropriate to wait for the conclusion of Mr. Williams' testimony.
Okay, let's talk about the form of it first, and then we'll talk about whether the court uses it after Mr. Williams' testimony. Is there, assuming everything is what the state has requested, is there any issues with the form of it?
Well, we would be objecting to that instruction being presented because there has been no testimony elicited as to any kind of mental abnormality. I have been doing research on the issue, and I do have a case. Let me see. It's just the pages, right? Yeah. I have extra copies. And I do have a copy for the court as
Thank you.
well as the state, if I can. Ms. Wilson is approaching the court with that case. I'm
Thank you.
sure everyone would want an opportunity to read it, but for the record, that would be Michael Perry v. State. That is 256 Southern 3rd, 888. That is a 4th DCA case from 2018.
it seems just at first blush, I haven't read it's an 8-page opinion, but it seems as though at first blush, Ms. Walensky, that there has to be some testimony concerning, expert testimony concerning mental illness before the instruction is even appropriate. Oh, that's right. It's the defense's case. So yeah, why don't you read it and let me know
But I would like to just cite to the comments from jury instruction 3.6p, which is the standard that the state sent to the court. It cites to Chestnut v. State, 538 Southern 2nd, 820. It's a 1989 Florida
538.
Southern 2nd, 820. It's a Florida Supreme Court case from 1989. But after citing to that case, which just stands for it not being a defense, abnormal mental condition, the comment specifically says, in some cases, however, such evidence or something that jurors might interpret as such evidence might be admitted presumably for another purpose or might simply be obvious or apparent from the facts of the case. In such cases, it could be appropriate in the court's discretion to give this instruction to avoid the possibility of juror confusion. So the comment speaks directly to what we're dealing with in this case, which is something that is obvious from the testimony.
I would encourage the state to continue reading the case because the case actually addresses the
Which
comments.
case do you encourage
The
her to read?
Perry v. State, which addresses the comments for the jury instruction that they are proposing, which is 3.6p like Paul.
It does seem as though the 4th DCA case in Perry includes a discussion and an analysis concerning the proposed jury instruction. It is an 8-page Westlaw opinion, so I do think we all need a moment to digest it and discuss it. I would ask that the parties come tomorrow morning at the 9:30 hour so that we can address it, discuss it before we resume trial. I believe my docket is going to be over here in 11A, but I'll find that out and I'll have my judicial assistant or I will email you all as to where I'm having morning docket. I'm not sure if it's today or tomorrow, but there's a grand jury and they need 11B for something. So I'll figure out where we're supposed to be tonight. But everybody be ready to argue this particular jury instruction. Please make sure that you digest the Perry case. If you have any other cases that you want the court to consider, please email me tonight so that I can be properly prepared tomorrow morning to discuss the including the inclusion of this particular instruction. Again, I understand it all has to wait until Mr. Williams completes his testimony, but I want to be prepared because we're well past the promised date to the jury, so I want to make sure we're as efficient with the use of our time concerning the conclusion of the case. Okay, State?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Did you hear anything I said?
I was distracted.
Coming back at 9:30 to discuss this.
Yes.
Yes, I did hear that.
Thank you. Defense? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, you wanted to be heard? I think you should talk to your attorney first.
Okay, can I speak now, please?
Yes, but I'm suggesting that you potentially speak to your attorney.
I'm okay with speaking to her.
Did you speak to them already?
I want to address the court.
Okay, you understand that anything you say can be used by the state against you.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to tell
Okay.
me? Sir?
My attorney lied about telling the people to move me from to cell 7 because of my sensitive electromagnetic frequencies. I just need to get away from the deputy station and move to cell 7.
Your attorney, sir, didn't lie.
Right.
They didn't say anything concerning that request. We discussed that request yesterday.
Okay.
And they have not addressed it because, as you can see, we've been busy all day doing the trial. And this
Okay.
is something that has not, I understand it's concerning where you're housed, but we're focused on trying to get this case to the jury. So that
Okay.
has not yet been addressed.
Okay.
And we'll-
Okay.
Okay? So,
I hoping somebody could protest for me or something, but I also want to fire my lawyer because my lawyer, I want to be my own attorney. I passed my competency test, and she has no reason discussing my mental health because everything I said on the witness stands were logical.
No,
it made
no.
sense.
Mr. Williams, let's just be clear. your attorneys did not address your mental health in front of the jury, okay? We've been discussing an instruction that the state wants to use, not the defense. Your attorneys are advocating or arguing that we should not use that instruction. It's the state that wants to use the instruction. So your attorneys have not sought to bring forth your mental health to this jury at all.
No, I said she was discussing it in court.
We were discussing it in court because the state is the one that's asking the court to include that instruction. And they did that outside the presence of the jury, so the jury has not heard anything concerning your mental health.
Okay, and
So with that, sir, do you understand that your attorneys have not done anything wrong as it relates to that? Just answer my question if you would,
Okay.
please. Do you agree with me that your attorneys have not done anything wrong as it relates to your mental health?
No, as it relates to my mental health,
Yes, sir. You
Well, I
said they
heard-
lied to you and they brought forth your mental health to the jury, and I am telling you they did not. Having our discussion between you and me, do you now agree that your attorneys did not do that?
yes, I agree, but I still want to fire them
Okay.
because
Let-
they struck around 30 of my jurors in like less than 5 minutes. It
No,
didn't
sir.
even consult
If you
me.
recall, let's go back. It's been a while, so let's go back. We talked about that days ago. That was like almost 10 days ago now, when we first started. And we went back, and I had you go back into the holding cell before we figured out we could use 11B. And you discussed with your attorneys the jurors that you wanted to keep. And we went through in detail. I'm going to use what I used to say in high school, a vocab word, meticulous detail, each and every juror that you wanted to keep. And we went through in that same meticulous detail and kept those jurors. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but she violated my rights because she didn't discuss
didn't.
it.
You know why, sir? Because we went back and we corrected that. So all the jurors that you wanted to keep were kept, except for those that the court excused. And you and I had a long discussion about that, and I explained to you that the court has the authority and the control to excuse jurors for hardships. You remember that discussion?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So your attorneys did not excuse any jurors without the court's involvement. Okay?
Okay.
So we went through that whole process of you wanting to fire them way back. I think it was on the 9th when we started the trial, and we corrected that. And you told me then that you were satisfied with what transpired. Do you remember that?
I told you that you corrected the problem that my attorneys violated and didn't do their job correctly. And they've been violating me many times.
So here's the issue, Mr. Williams. When we correct it, then you have no issues with your attorney because it's been corrected, right?
That's one of the issues that you guys seen. They done many issues that wasn't addressed in the court. That was one that was captured that they violated my rights.
Well,
and that's why I want to fire them.
Like I said, sir, they didn't violate your rights because we corrected that issue. And you told me, unless you're telling me that you're not telling me the truth, and I thought you were promising to tell me the truth, you told me you were satisfied with your attorneys. Do you remember that?
Oh, after you corrected what
Exactly.
they did.
So now we're starting at 0 again.
And also me and my lawyer reviewed the we reviewed the questions she's supposed to ask me.
Well, we're
and
not
she
done
lied
with
again.
We're
and
not
asked
done
me
with
the right
those
questions.
Mr. If I could speak, sir, we're not done with those questions. So you and your attorneys can go over those questions again tonight, and you
No,
can.
I want to fire her. I passed my competency test. I want to be my own lawyer, and this jury is fixed. 2 groups of jury came up here, and they all know Ryan's family. The jury is fixed as well.
Well, I don't know how you can tell me that they're fixed yet because you were the one that was satisfied with them. So let's just do this.
No, I want to fire
Mr. Williams, if you don't mind, if you
Okay.
could let me speak, do you mind?
Yes, I respect you. Go ahead.
I appreciate that, sir. It's been a long day, and you've been on the stand, and we're probably all very tired. So why don't we all go home, get some dinner, rest, and come
No,
back
I
to.
don't want that. I want to exercise my right to fire my lawyer. I'm
Well,
tired of my lawyer.
I'm not telling you you can't exercise your right. I'm just telling you let's take a pause.
No, I don't want to do that.
I'm going to do that because I'm
tired of that lawyer. I'm tired of her.
Sir, I need to take a break. So we're going to take a break tonight so that I can just
I don't want to come. I'm sick. Can't you see I lost all this weight? Look at me.
All right.
I just want to be moved out of that cell. I'm sick. Look at my face.
We need to. Yes,
I'm tired of my
approach.
lawyer.
You can. Mr. Williams?
Yeah.
So we had a discussion sidebar. I'm sure you saw your attorney.
Well, okay,
if
go
you,
ahead, go
if
ahead,
you
go
don't
ahead.
mind.
Go
if you
ahead,
don't
go
mind,
ahead, go
I
ahead.
appreciate it. So I'm sure you saw your attorneys and the state with me. We are going to take a break. I understand. Please
Okay.
let me finish, please. As you would say, I've been respectful. Right?
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you. So we're going to take a break. If you really want to fire your attorneys, you have to put it in writing. So I'm going to have you go back to your cell tonight and write out whatever it is that you feel is necessary for you to.
I don't want to. I'm sick. I don't want to come back. You see all this weight I lost? I'm sick. I don't want to come back here anymore. I want to fire my lawyers right now.
You have to come back here because we have your trial. So you need to have this case. We're almost at the end.
My jury's fixed.
They're not fixed, sir.
They're two. I had two groups of jury, and both of them had people that knew Ryan in it. They're fixed by the Masons.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I had two groups of jury come here, and both of them know Ryan's. Both groups of jury had people that know Ryan's family.
Well, that was when we had the big. That was when we had the big panel. But we excused most of those
The
jurors.
Masons fixed my jury.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to.
And my lawyers are involved in the people that's been raping me in first, second, and third shift, and they also work in Belgrades, and they can fix the camera footage to hide their rapes.
Sir, we're going to take a break. I'm going to have you go back to your cell and write whatever it is you want to write to me concerning all the issues that you have with regard to the case and whatever it is that you want to talk to me about with firing your lawyers. And we'll come back tomorrow at 9. And then you and I and the attorneys without the jury present will have that discussion.
I don't want that jury's fixed. I don't want to go forward with this trial. I want a new trial.
Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow, okay?
And I'm trying to exercise my constitutional rights in the United States and Florida state law.
I'm really trying to have you exercise your constitutional right myself. So if you could just work with me by going home, writing out whatever you want to write out concerning firing your attorneys, and we'll talk about it tomorrow morning.
I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm sick. I'm in pain. Look my face. My face is sunken there. I can't come back here no more. I'm so sick.
Well, you have to come back. You do have to come back tomorrow, sir, because we have to finish the trial.
I'm sick. I'm in pain.
Sir, I'm going to have to be stern with you right now. You have to come back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm going to tell the deputies. I'm going to have the state write out an order. You are coming back tomorrow. The deputies will escort you back tomorrow. You have to come back tomorrow. Please don't make me have the deputies bring you back here tomorrow. You have to come back, okay?
Okay, yeah, my jury's fixed. The Masons fixed my jury.
We'll talk all about that tomorrow, but you cannot refuse to come here tomorrow. Otherwise, I will tell the deputies to bring you back using whatever reasonable means are necessary to bring you back. Do you understand?
Okay. I'm just telling you I'm sick.
I heard you.
Respect it, okay?
I heard everything you said, but I'm telling you, you must be here tomorrow. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. Anything else to address from the state? No. I need an order. Thank you. And defense, I also need an order. Yes, Judge. Anything else to address before we recess for the day? No. I do have a question about the order, though, that you need from us. It's the order about Alexander. By 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Anytime but by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And should I send the order to the queue? Yes, to the queue. Because via OLS, because I have to electronically sign it, as with your order as well. Anything else to address before we recess? No. Defense? No. Mr. Williams, I wish you a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Oh, you can do it? I can handwrite it, yes. Okay, yes, you handwrite it too. No, yes, ma'am. Come? Yes, ma'am. Let's turn, Ms. McLeod, can you turn off recording, please? 1 second. 1 second, let's.